you and I even thought about YSN, before we were ever thinking about doing this, there was national championships coming back to Youngstown, and we're proud to, hey, I'm going to say it, we're going to bring it back again. We're going to bring it back again right here. And those 8 young men, 4 from South Range, 1 from JFK, 2 from Lakeview, those coaches, those families that are making the trip to Canton, best of luck to you. Best of luck to you. We're all rooting for you. We're excited for you and cannot wait to talk to you once again when you are national champions and holding those. I think they get rings. I think they get rings.
I'd hope so. I mean, a natty deserves a ring, right? Like,
well, I mean,
get a natty.
Hey, might as well be world championship. I'm just going to put that out there. There's a lot of people that'll just tiptoe around it because, hey, football is our sport, okay? The rest of the world can keep trying, but you're not beating these kids from Youngstown. I'm telling you right now. Go ahead and try. See what happens. You know what happens in Youngstown. You get a sandwich. They'll make you a sandwich. We go from potential national champions, world champions, to a guy who has announced and been a part of so many championships and so many championship stories, and a guy that will forever be etched into the history of this area. A gentleman, I have to read this because it's a resume that I don't think I could just rip off the top of my head. Retired public school teacher, coach, athletic director, administrator, active OHSAA track and field official, PA announcer, OHSAA state track meet, does the PA announcing for the state track meet. Also, the voice of the Crestview Rebels. He puts the black and gold into the golden pipes that he puts across those airwaves each and every time he opens that Hall of Fame golden pipe mouth of his. Ladies and gentlemen, a role model of mine, a guy that last seen together on the cable news network and now here on YSN. Oh, how we have grown. Ladies and gentlemen, Andris Baltputnis, Mr. B!
Anthony and DJ, good to see both of you.
Right there. Just hearing him say our name, like, I got shivers. I got chills. I got chills, Mr. B. Thank you for joining us. I know it was short notice, and this is something I've wanted to do for a long time. Sir, you are legendary around this area. Obviously, you have so much passion for the black and gold in Crestview. Hardly ever are you not wearing black and gold. What got you started? What got you into doing what you do, and you do so much?
Well, it was certainly nothing that I had ever planned, DJ. I had been the track coach at Crestview for 15 years, and I decided to give it up, but I really enjoyed the sport, so I wanted to stay in it. So I took the test from the OHSAA, got my track certification, and started working track meets. And then I believe it was 1990 or 91, Tom McCall was the athletic director at East Palestine, and he needed an announcer. And he asked me if I would give it a try. And I did so, and it worked out. And then, of course, many schools come to East Palestine for their track meets, and other coaches heard me working up in the press box and started asking me to come to their school and do their meets. And that's how it spread. And then eventually it got to the college level.
And now here you are as someone that is one of the most iconic voices in the area. I think every time someone hears your voice, they know they're in Crestview. It's one of those ones that you hear as soon as you in the gym. What's it mean to you to kind of be along the journey with so many Crestview athletes that we've seen do such incredible things over the past decades?
Well, it's fun, and that was always my goal when I took the job. I wanted to make sure that it was fun for the kids. Yes, everybody wants to go undefeated and win championships, but that's not all there is to it. You want the kids to have a good time. You want to have good equipment and supplies for them, and you just want it to be an enjoyable experience. So when they leave school, they can say, wow, that was worth it. That was fun being part of that team or that play or that band or whatever activity it is.
I think what's fun for me, Mr. B, is the fact that seemingly being an East Palestine graduate, uh, your voice was a nightmare for me when I went into the House of Horrors known as Crestview Gymnasium for so many years. But now it is something that I can't help but smile. I can't help when we're setting up for basketball or volleyball or whatever it may be, that particular or football. Hearing your voice and the due diligence that you work with. I mean, you care as much about every student athlete on that playing surface for Crestview and for whoever the opponent is. I mean, you're going and doing some of the things that others just don't do anymore because of there's so many hats to wear. But you wear those hats with pride, and you're going down and asking for pronunciations. You're asking for different things to make sure that experience, that high school experience that we all treasure throughout the rest of our lives, is a good one every time that they enter somewhere where they're playing the Rebels. Why is that so important to you to make sure that experience is next level?
Because it's an athletics, all the activities, including athletics, are an extension of the classroom. You prepare extensively when you're in the classroom teaching, and when you get behind that microphone, it's the same exact thing. People want to know the correct statistics. They want to know the background of the young people. They want to know all the information about the young person and team that you can provide. No different than when you're supplying information in the classroom.
You don't just say the player's name. We get to learn what their favorite colors are, what their favorite TV shows are, maybe what they like to eat after a game. What kind of goes into all that and being able to not just introduce these players, but really give them that kind of next level introduction?
Right. Good question, Anthony. Before the season starts, I get a roster from each of the coaches, and I go around to all the girls and I get all the information from them that they can possibly give me. And then I utilize that as much as I can when we do the player introductions.
Mr. B, whenever you think about Crestview, you think about what you have been able to give, and not just through your communication, not just through what you do on a microphone, but also what you do behind the scenes, pushing and making sure that Crestview had that football field, that turf football field that is now beautifully installed, the video board, the stadium renovations, the new indoor facility that Crestview is shiny and bright and ready to show off. But one thing stands really apparent to me is there's so many people that appreciate what you've done to make that school what it is today. When you hear people say, the indoor facility or other, different venues should be named after you and you should have that honor, what does it mean particularly to you when you hear those?
Well, I'm not a big fan of naming any facility after everybody, DJ, because many people in the community were a part of that. It wasn't me by myself by any means. I was asked by the administration if I would help do the fundraising for a lot of those facilities, and I did the best that I could. And we had just incredible people that stepped up and donated their hard-earned money to make all those new facilities possible. And we're almost finished with the indoor athletic field house, and then we'll still have to finish the high school and the middle school and the elementary, but that's a year away. I just get an awful lot of pleasure of seeing those facilities go up, and I see the sparkling in the eyes of the kids that are soon going to get to enjoy all those.
Mr. B, volleyball season is coming up, and you have been on the mic for a lot of wins for that volleyball team. In fact, it's been a long time since you've been on the mic for a loss at home for that volleyball team. You know exactly when. I don't want to guess and be wrong, but I think it's
6 years.
6 years. I was going to say, so 6 years without a home loss for that volleyball
Correct.
team. What's it been like to just kind of witness that kind of domination?
It's overwhelming at times. It doesn't seem possible that you couldn't lose a home match in over 6 years. Boardman actually was the last team that beat us back in 2000 at home. All winning streaks are going to come to an end eventually, but It's inspiring to watch how hard the girls work. Coach Alicia Hour, without a doubt in my mind, the best volleyball coach in the state. She's got an incredible staff. The hours that she puts in with those girls, even in the off season, they go to all kinds of competitions and things like that, and it really shows when the fall rolls around.
When you think about Crestview, obviously there's a lot of pride. When you small town USA, you talk about New Waterford as a whole, Crestview as the district. There's a ton of pride there. There's a ton of pride in Rebels, and there's been obviously with conference play and things of that nature. There's teams that play, teams that don't. For you go in there, and like I said before, it doesn't matter who is on the other sideline. You treat everybody with respect and dignity. Why and what kind of is it just being around Crestview for all these years that you've developed this Rebel pride and you've helped pass it along like a baton in a track meet that you're about to announce? And it seems like coaches, administrators as well have that Rebel pride. And again, the welcome mat is always out, but once that competition is on, the competition is fierce. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it actually kind of reminds me of you and Anthony. You fellows have so much pride at YSN. You wanted everything to be first class. And I feel the same way about the academics and the athletics. We need to have the best chemistry program, the best physics program, the best history program, and top-notch athletic programs as well. It all fits together. It's all one big conglomeration. And that's the way the administration feels. It starts at the top, DJ. If the administration doesn't feel that chemistry is important, you're not going to have a good chemistry program. If the administration doesn't feel that basketball is important, you're not going to have a good basketball program. So it starts at the top with the administration, and then it filters down, and everyone takes pride in the result.
All right, Mr. B, we've talked about how iconic your voice is and how recognizable it is. Who's your favorite iconic voice? Who's someone that you hear, whether it be a singer, actor, broadcaster, and as soon as you hear him, hey, I know exactly who that is?
Without a doubt, Paul Keels, the voice of the Buckeyes.
I thought he was going to say Paul Cusick. I heard Paul come out of his mouth, and I was like, oh, boy, we're going throwback style.
He's very good, too.
The legendary voice of Paul Cusick. So I guess a tough question, but also, it's a loaded question. Why do you do what you do? Because you've got a great family. You just got back from vacation. Why is it, and what keeps you coming back into that booth and having so much pride every time you take the mic?
Well, I knew as a young person that was my destiny. I've always loved school. I've loved being around kids. It keeps you young. It actually inspires you. I'm sure you and Anthony get that same feeling when you're interviewing the kids from the various sports. And there's just a feeling of newness there all the time. Every fall, I always get excited about the new teams to see how they're going to do and to meet some new kids and new coaches. And it's just a love that I have for a school in general. It's what I was meant to do.
When you move in that new field house and you have to kind of look back on the past, what are going to be some of the things you miss the most about this field house that you play in now and the iconic things that have happened in the gym today?
Wow. A lot of memories there. A lot of memories. I think the most recent one would probably be last year when LeBray's boys basketball team was undefeated in the league, and we gave them their only loss of the season. 1998 or 7, I believe. Lisbon was undefeated. They came into week 9 at our place, and we gave them their only loss of the season. That was a huge win. I remember this goes way back. In fact, it's not even a home game. In 1971, when Sebring was undefeated, and we knocked them off in the district final at the Austin Town Fieldhouse. That was a good memory. Lots and lots of good memories. As far as the collegiate level, probably my favorite memory was my first year when I did the it was my third year doing the state track meet, but it was the first year at Jesse Owens Stadium, and Ted Ginn Jr. was breaking all of the state and records that were around. And I'll never forget announcing him for the start of the finals in the 110-meter hurdles. There were 12,000 people in Jesse Owens Stadium, and you could hear a pin drop. It was an incredible atmosphere.
Mr. B, when you think about legacies in Crestview specifically, I mean, you have, Olympians now. You have Abby Emsh, who's out there representing America. You've had incredible football players, baseball players that have run through. You've got wonderful coaches who have broken records, and you've got wonderful people that have gone on to just do fantastic things in their lives, whether it be in their profession or just in their families. When you think about, and maybe you haven't, your legacy at Crestview and what you are leaving right now, what do you want people to know about why you did what you did and why you're doing what you're doing and what you want your legacy to be when it's all said and done?
Well, I don't know about legacy, DJ. I don't feel myself as like I'm any kind of a legacy, but I would hope that people remember how kids need to be treated. You always need a smile on your face, win, lose, or draw. After the game, you need to have a smile on your face. You need to pat the kids on the back for giving it 100%. You need to congratulate them. You need to congratulate the coaches. Being an overall role model, I think, is very important, not just for me, but for all the coaches and teachers in every school. Role model for the kids. They look up to us, whether we realize that at all times or not. Crucially important that we provide role models for the kids.
Before you came on, we said that we think you should be in the world Mount Rushmore of your job title. Absolutely. If you had to put together a Crestview Athletics Mount Rushmore, who are some people that you think need to be on it?
Oh, wow. There's so many. I would say probably as far as athletics goes, Randy McBride. He was the most valuable player at the University of Cincinnati, Division I football. Brad Gassina, the only one we ever had play Division I football at Indiana. Chelsea Boker, all-time leading scorer in the county. Four-year letterman at St. Bonaventure. Certainly Abby Emsh now would be right up there. Being on the roster there at University of Pittsburgh, who made the Final Four in volleyball last year. I don't want to go too much further with that because I know I'll leave somebody out that I should mention, but those would be some of the ones that would certainly come to the top of my memory list.
Unbelievable. I mean, if you think of, and just a historian, we talked about it, in the beginning of our show about, you just a wealth of knowledge, not just for Crestview, but for all over, in the admiration. We talk about what we do, and we are huge fans of these student athletes, these coaches, these communities, certainly of you. But when it comes to historians and fans of what everybody's doing, seemingly, especially in our area, but certainly the state, nobody's better than you, Mr. B. Nobody's better. Nobody's doing it better. And certainly with a wealthy amount of modesty as well, because you'll never admit it. But you are the man. You are the GOAT. There's no doubt about it. And we can't thank you enough for joining us. Hopefully you'll do it again sometime and we can kind of start talking about some of the great history in our area in the way of sports. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, DJ. I'll never forget the first time you walked into the Crestview School when YSN was just getting started, and you ran into me in the hallway. And I said, "Who are you and what are you doing here?"
I wasn't stealing toilet paper. I promise you that. we were getting ready for something big. So
yeah.
And thank you again for everything. Obviously, a huge supporter of what we're doing. You make East Palestine your home, have for a long time as well. And it was you were such a great someone who was beside me the entire time, even when we were on CNN together and nobody wanted to talk to us. So
how about that?
we appreciate you so much. Thanks for your time, and looking forward to our next conversation, Mr. B. Thank you.
We'll see you soon. Take care.
There he goes, Mr. B. Unbelievable legend. He can say he doesn't have a legacy, but anybody that has come across him, anybody that has heard him, Anybody that knows the history of Crestview, you cannot write the history of Crestview or even the future of Crestview without Andris Baltputnis. And I'll say that to anybody who wants to hear it. So thank you to Mr. B for being part. Incredible. I've wanted to do that for such a long time. And that is about 1%. About 1% of what potentially we can talk about, because he knows seemingly